Hello, my name is Jess and I teach Iyengar Yoga at Hills Yoga School up in Stirling in the Adelaide Hills. This 1 hour video is aimed for foundation students and it's an hour backbend class. The props that you will need for today are a chair, two pillows, 1 and 2, a smaller pillow if you have it. I'm just going to place this under here. A blanket, and a belt. And if you don't have a yoga belt, you can be creative. This is the cord off my dressing gown. So to start our practice today, we're going to set up in Viparitti. So you might want to pause the video, go and get yourself a chair, 2 pillows, a blanket and a belt, and then come back to the video. So setting up for Viparitti, you will need 2 pillows, the top one staggered back a little bit, a blanket, support for your head. You might want to fold it this way to give some extra support underneath the head, and your belt. Come to sit in front of your 2 pillows. Spread the calf flesh from the back of the calf forward, creating room and space here for the knees. Here, we're going to take the belt and place it around our sacrum. Thread it around our ankles and just tie a knot. And you want the belt to be, firm around the ankles, firm around the sacrum, coming down into the hip creases here. So lay back into Backbends now. Make sure that the first pillow is more towards your sacrum, the second pillow more towards your back ribs, too close to the wall here, I'm going to need to move. And the pillow coming to touch the shoulders, giving good support to the head. So once you're here, roll your shoulders back, allow your shoulders to come down onto the top pillow. Open your palms to face the ceiling, soles of the feet together, knees drawing away from one another, chin towards the chest. Time to close down the eyes now and give over to the qualities of Viparitti. So just allowing the mind to settle. A chance to tune into the breath and to give good lift and opening to the chest. A few minutes here. See that the back ribs are moving towards the front of the chest to help with that good lift and opening of the side chest. Front chest receives the shoulder blades. Bhujangasana, bringing a quietening quality to the mind, as well as letting the body release and open, preparing for your practice. Nice few breaths here. Turn your palms into the floor. Push yourself up to sitting. Welcome to the class. Take your belt off. Remove your props to one side. Bring your toes, your big toes, to touch at the back of your mat. Take your knees as wide apart as the mat. Now, if it's not possible for you to bring your buttocks down to your heels, take some extra height. Might be the use of a pillow underneath the buttocks to help give some space, some opening to the knees. One pillow is not enough. Use a blanket as well, or another pillow. So stay for a moment here and take your hands to the top edge of your pelvis and see if you can get that sense of the nape from pubis drawing up to your navel here, but also a spreading and opening across the sacrum. So you might just run your fingers from your mid-spine to the outer edges of your hips to encouraging that spread and opening of the back sacrum. Hands to the knees. Walk your hands forward. Bring your forehead to rest now onto the mat. If it doesn't reach, use a blanket, a belt, a block, whatever you have. Come to look at your hands. Make sure your hands are well spread. Each finger pressing well into the floor. Forehead can come down to the mat. And here a sense, the hand pushing into the mat, and then a drawing back action from the hand to the elbow to the outer shoulder, the shoulder blades drawing back to the hips, a sense of that sacrum spreading and opening, buttocks down to the heels. And then in the front body, a lift from pubis to navel, navel to sternum. So drawing back in the back body and extending forward in the front body. Working with that and see what action comes within your body. A few more breaths here. Lift the head, walk the hands in. And come to be on your hands and knees like this. tuck the toes and push up, going for Ardha Mukha Svanasana. So drawing back from the hands to the shoulders, shoulders to the hips, hips long down into the feet. You can start to draw your heels back towards the mat behind you. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Tune into the breath here. Bend the knees, untuck the toes, drop the buttocks back to the heel for Ardha Mukha Virasana, forehead coming down to the floor. Not so important for the toes to be together here. Come up onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes, push up to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. First of all, draw the hips and buttocks up high before taking the heels down towards the mat. A few breaths here. Taking the knees to the floor, untuck the toes, buttocks coming back to the heels, Ardha Mukha Virasana. A little bit more quickly now, coming up, untuck the toes, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Coming forward to the knees, untuck the toes, Ardha Mukha Virasana. Come up, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Come down, Ardha Mukha Virasana. Up, come to dog pose. Down, come to Ardha Mukha Virasana. Up to dog pose. Hold it a moment longer. Bring your shoulders now over your wrists to a plank. Sternum bone reaching forward. Back to dog pose. To your knees. Untuck the toes and come to Urdhva Mukha. So here, tailbone moving in, legs long behind you, long in the side chest, pushing down into the mat evenly with both hands, left and right. Untuck the toes, come to downward facing dog. Come to that plank position. You can come through the knees or come straight to Urdhva Mukha. Legs can be either on the floor or up off of the floor here. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog. Last Ardha Mukha. Lunge the right leg forward. And come back. Lunge the left leg forward. And back. Look towards your hands and walk the feet in towards your hands. Come up to standing. And we're going to go for Utkatasana now. So let's do this against the wall. So take your mat against a wall and standing First of all, well into Chatushpadasana. Roll the shoulders back. Sense of those kneecaps drawing up into that front thigh flesh, extending down into the arms. Bring your attention to your feet. Is the weight placed evenly? Right side, left side. Bring your weight more to the toe side, to the heel side, and now rest evenly between the two. So not only resting evenly right side, left side of the foot, but also front and back. Can you be more to where the arch and the heel meet? Push down into the floor there. Raise the arms. Viparitti. Bring the sacrum to the wall behind you. You might need to step your feet out a little wider here, or further away from the wall, and sink the buttocks down to be Utkatasana. Stretch up evenly, right side, left side here. Bring the arms down, push into the wall and come up. Now going for one more, you can either repeat that with your back against the wall or be a little further away from the wall to try Utkatasana, rebalancing. And again, you've got your choice to work with your feet apart or to bring the feet together. Raise the arms, join the palms if you're able. Bend the knees, take the buttocks down and lift up through the front chest. Keep on drawing the buttocks down to the heels, tailbone in, good length and opening in the side chest. Press those palms together. See if you can sink down lower and come up and release. Steady there. Bhujangasana, raise the right arm, take the left arm out to the side, swing underneath the left arm, take the right arm over, take hold of your hands, or they're not reaching, use a belt like this. Bhujangasana, right side. Here you want a sense of this outer arm moving in this direction, moving forward. Stand well in the legs here, Tadasana legs. Lift those kneecaps up into that front thigh flesh. Plug the feet down into the mat. Check. Are you evenly placed with both feet here? And change. Left arm up, right arm out to the side. Swing underneath the right arm. Left hand to come and join. The sense of spreading the outer arm forwards. And release. Come to be, you're going to have your hand to the wall and you're going to have with your fingertips facing behind like this. So come to stand sideways to a wall. So giving you a moment in case you need to move yourself next to a wall. Take out your right hand and place it on the wall, just stepping away so you can see my fingertips are facing behind me. But my hand is level with my shoulder here. Feet are hip width apart. So applying a bit of pressure into our hand and instantly I can start to feel a nerve stretch into my hand, wrist. You might want to stay with this, or you can start to turn away from your hand, giving a good stretch to the shoulder, arm, wrist, fingers. Good one to do if we're spending lots of time at a computer typing. And release, walk back towards the wall. Change which hand is placed on the wall. Look to your feet first. Are they placed hip width apart, placed evenly, not one foot turned out, one foot turned in? Draw the kneecaps up into the front thigh flesh, shoulders over hips, straighten the arm, hands straight out from the shoulder, apply pressure into that hand, into the wall. Be a moment there. If that's enough, you might stay with that, or you might start to turn your feet away from the wall now to get a good stretch through the arm, wrist, and hand. And release. Come into that half Uttanasana pose now to the wall. So to find your positioning, you take your hands to your lowest ribs and take your hands straight out to the wall. Here you spread your fingers well and push in. I'm going to do it against this so you can see the shape of my body, although this is too low. But you're bringing your body to that half dog pose, half Uttanasana here. It's like an L shape. So my knees are over my ankles, knees aligned with my hips. I'm not dipping down, drawing the navel up to the back spine. So I've got a flat back here, pushing into the wall. Or a bench, something that you can find in your home. Last few breaths here. Look to the wall and walk in. Now we're going for a few standing poses now. So taking the short edge of your mat to a wall, we're going to work with our back foot towards the wall. So the first pose, I'll show you the shape of the pose this way first. We're coming to this Trikonasana, which is this one. But I'll be doing it with this back heel to the wall. Most of you know the pose if you've been coming a while. So take your back foot to the wall, step out long on your mat. My front toes, you can't see them with the camera, but they're in the direction of the mat. Firm your back heel back into the wall. So be firm, push down through the back heel. Bring your hands to your hips. Place your back hand onto the wall. Stretch the fingers in the direction of the toes. Stretch out over that straight leg and take that front hand either to rest on the shin or to be on the floor. And here we're rotating these bottom ribs forwards. You can take your eyes to look straight ahead first. And then if the shoulder and neck allows, turn the neck and the eyes look to the top thumb. Trikonasana. Push into the back heel to come up and change. Toes, front toes to come to the front, rotate to the front of the mat, bend the knees, and you might zigzag your feet in before stepping the feet together. Change the second side. This time, right foot up against the wall, step the left leg out long, hands to the hip. Now just look to the back heel. Is it pushed down into the wall? Are we firm through that back heel? Are the back 5 toes touching the floor? Draw up through the kneecaps up into that front thigh flesh. Hands to the hip. Shoulders over the hips. Hand to touch the wall. Front hand to extend over the front toes. Take the torso now longwards. Hand either to the calf or to the floor. Top hand can come to the hip and encourage those bottom ribs to slide through. Take the top hand up. Have the eyes either looking forward, straight ahead, or if the shoulder and neck allow, take the eyes up to the top thumb. Trikonasana. Have you lost that action of the back heel? Be more in the back leg than the front leg here. Check. Are both legs straight? Knees straight. Push into the back heel to come up. Front toes forward. Bend the knees. You might zigzag your feet to come together. Tadasana. Be there a moment. One more last standing pose, Bhujangasana. So take the left heel to the wall, right leg out wide, arms, back arm to the wall, front hand extending out over the toes. Bend that front leg to a right angle. So we're in our Viparitti Karani 2. Before we're stretching out over that bent leg and taking that hand either to elbow to rest onto the knee or hand to the floor. So in case you're unsure what that pose looks like, we're here. So I might stay like this, but you have your back foot into the wall. Now this is a modified position. If you have that capacity, you can take your hand behind the foot, this knee resting into the arm resting into the knee. So there's a duality there. They're pushing towards each other. Take the top arm up and over, or if that's sore on the shoulder, swing it in front of the face. Lie the arm out along the ear. Viparitti. Be more into the back foot and come up. Now you'll need to change sides. So go to the other side. Back heel to the wall. Step the foot long out along the mat. You know the shape of the pose now. Hands to the hip. Take the arms out, back hand to the wall, front hand extending the same way as the toes. Bend that front leg to a right angle. Here's our Viparitti 2. Modified version, bring that elbow to rest on your knee, back hand to your hip. Or you can take that hand to the floor, take the top arm up and over, or swing it down in front of the face. Eyes look up to the eye of the elbow. Push into that back heel and come up. Toes forward and come to stand in Tadasana. Steady here. So coming to the back bending part of the class now. So bring yourself down onto your mat and come to lay out onto your front body along your mat. Shalabhasana. So here, have your hands either side of your shoulders and extend back through your right leg and your left leg. Feet are hip width apart. Forehead can come down to the mat, and you can take your hands to either side of the body, arms straight, palms facing up to the ceiling. Going to lift our chest first. So imagine someone's taken hold of your hands and they're pulling you back, and we lift our front chest up and come down. Rest there a moment. And now lift our legs, front of the body stays down. So extend from the inner leg to the inner knee to inner heel, and release. Now adding those two things together. So we've got to lift our front chest and our legs at the same time. Deep breath in and lift. So keep on working to lift here. Good back strength in a pose. Someone's got hold of your wrists and they're pulling them back behind you, giving good opening to the sternum at the front, legs long behind you. And relax and release. Forehead can come to your hands. Re-establish the leg, so extend out through your right leg, through your left leg, and bring your hands to, this time, in level with your side chest. Going for Bhujangasana. So here, feet can be hip width apart. We push into the hands, and we start from bringing our tailbone into our front body, lift the chest, and we lift up away from the mat, working to straighten the arms. If it's absolutely impossible to straighten the arms here, you can walk them further away from you. Now here, although it's an upper back bend, don't forget the good work of the legs. Keep the legs active. Are those kneecaps coming up into that front thigh flesh? Good spread and opening across the sacrum, pelvic rim area. And release. Head can rest on the hands. Going for Dhanurasana now, so bend up the legs, take hold of the ankles. I'll show you the pose first. So you're extending from the hip back down to the outer edge of the knee, and we push into our hands with our ankles. So we lift up like this. So establish your pose. Take hold of the ankles with the hands. Prepare yourself. Draw up the navel to the back spine. Abdominals on. And lift up. Keep pushing the ankles back into the hands. And release. Let's go one more time. Bend up the knees, take hold of the ankles. Prepare yourself. And lift up. and release. Come up now. Going to go to Ustrasana. Now you need a chair for this, and I recommend that you take the chair to the wall so you can see the pose. I've got a little ledge here. I've got that same action of pushing the chair into that little ledge here. The chair is stable, it's not going to go anywhere. Now pull your knees for comfort. Take a blanket in front of the chair and have your pillow as well. So you're going to walk your knees onto your blanket and bring your hips right up snug into that chair. Feet are hip width apart, knees are hip width apart. Take that pillow and place it on to the back of your legs. Here we push our hips into the chair, we roll our shoulders back, we feel long from our hips up through our side chest area, and we lift the sternum up to the ceiling and start to curl the body back and take the fingertips to the pillow, Ustrasana. Now my hips haven't come away from the chair, they're still into the chair. Eyes look to the ceiling, or keep the chin in towards the front body if it's sore on the neck. Push into the legs and come up and sit back down onto your pillow. Now we'll go again. If you know you don't need the pillow, remove it. So have your knees directly underneath hips, hip width apart. Push the shin well into the mat here, into the blanket. Toes facing directly behind. Hips in towards the chair. Take hold of the side of your chair and roll your shoulders back. Here with the hips still up against the chair, see if you can find that lift through the front body. From pubis to navel, extend up into your sternum. Start to curl the shoulders back, side chest curling back, and take your hands either to the pillow or to your feet. Now don't forget the work of the legs here. Keep those shins pushing into the blanket so I can feel from my knee all the way down to my toes, all the contact my shin, my front leg has with the floor. And then from my knee, I'm lifting up towards the direction of my pelvis. Thinking of my front thigh being long up towards the direction of my hips. Spreading the sacrum from that mid-spine, left side, right side. And come up. Sit back onto your feet. Rest a moment here. Now, your choice to either repeat that pose that we've just done or to go for Urdhva Dhanurasana, back bending pose. So you can try, but work within your capabilities. So this is what it looks like. So our feet are hip width apart. We come to lay on our back body. I'll just demonstrate it, have a watch at the video, and then you can do it yourself. Take your fingertips back behind you, and your fingertips are facing into the direction of your shoulders. Here we push down, firm into the feet, firm into our hands, and we lift up. So this is what we're aiming for. All right, so choice here. Either going for a third Ustrasana or coming to be on your back body with your feet bent, your knees bent, toes facing away. Take the arms overhead, fingertips facing towards shoulders. Push into your feet, push into your hands, and lift up. So here, I'm thinking of my hands to my elbow, all the way extending to my lower bottom ribs. Finding that spread, the sacrum, left side, right side. And release. Release as well if you did a third Ustrasana. Everyone come to be on their back body now. Knees bent. Take hold of the edge of the mat. We're going to curl the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Tuck the shoulder under, right side, left side. Keep on pushing the pelvis up towards the ceiling so you can find some more length, some height here. Good work of the left legs. Untuck the shoulders. Release each vertebrae down one at a time. Tailbone releasing to the floor. Sacrum spreading out. Right side, left side. And bring your hands just to rest onto your abdomen here. Going for some leg raises now. You can either work with your hands alongside of your body or overhead. Working overhead is a little more strong. Lift your legs up to 90. Lower the legs down to the floor. Here you can either bend in the knees to the chest and then lift the legs up to go again, or take the legs straight up. Legs lower down. Either bend the knees or bring the legs straight up. Let's go for 10. Bend the knees, feet to the floor, hands to rest on the abdomen. Roll over to your right side, push yourself up to sitting. So we're going to go for some sitting twisted poses here. So I'm going to turn my mat this way. And I'm going to work with some height under my buttocks, and I'm just choosing to use a pillow, smaller pillow. You might choose to work with a larger pillow, blanket. So first of all, Viparitti 1. So if you come onto your hands and knees like this, take your feet over to the same side and sit back. Here we take some height underneath the right buttocks. The top foot is in the cradle of the bottom arch. Working for our hips to be even here. So you can see what this looks like. So we're on our hands and knees, feet come to one side, we draw the buttocks down, sit onto our support, and this foot rests in the cradle here, spreading and the sacrum here. Raise the arms, twisting away from the feet. One hand can come to the outside edge of the leg, other hand behind you into the floor. Now, if you need some extra height behind to bring that hand to the floor, find some extra height. Breathe in, lengthen the spine up. Exhale, twist and turn away from the feet. Inhale to create space. Exhale and turn. Inhale. Exhale. The eyes are the last thing to go around. And then gently release back to center. Come up to your hands and knees again. Take your support to the other side. Feet going out to the opposite side. Spreading the buttocks flesh, the side of the left buttocks, right foot cradling into the left, and encouraging these knees to spread down in front of you. Lift the arms up, turn away from the feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale and turn. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale and turn. Inhale. Exhale. And release back to center. Take the legs out in front of you and bring your support directly behind you to sit on. Here, I'm going to choose to sit on a half-fold blanket. Going for Marichyasana 3. So sit onto your blanket and walk up so the crease of your buttocks is where the fold of the blanket is. Spread the buttocks flesh, right side, left side, so we're sitting right onto our sit bones here. Toes facing the ceiling, legs drawing back up towards the direction of the hip. Roll your shoulders back, place the hands behind you here, sitting well in Dandasana. Lift the side chest. Bend the right knee, take hold of the right ankle and draw that foot in towards the groin. Take the opposite arm up, so for this case for me it's my left arm going up, taking my right hand behind and I'm drawing this arm in front of that leg to a twist. And release. Bend up the second side now. Draw that heel in towards the blanket. Lift up. Come across the body. Not holding it for long. And release. Come to sit cross-legged. interlace your fingers, Parvatasana. Stretch the arms out and overhead. Here, don't puff the chest forward. Allow those lower ribs to draw back to the back spine. Shoulder blades going in the direction of the hips. The thigh bone heavy. Sense of the thigh bone lengthening to the knee from the hip. And release. Change the cross of your legs. Spread that buttocks flesh well. Change the interlace of your hands. Take the hands forward and up. Again, lower ribs drawing back to the back body. Shoulder blades drawing back down towards the direction of your hips. Stand up through the fingertips, this time twisting to the right. Working with the breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn away. Come back to center. Change your cross again. Lift up into the arms. Turn the opposite direction. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, turn away. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, and turn. And release back to center. So we're going to go for Viparitti Karani, legs up the wall. So we'll try this with the pillow setup. So I'm going to take both of my pillows up into the wall. And take my blanket here for my head. Now to come into this, I'm going to sit sideways onto my pillows, flip my legs up around, and then use my hands into the mat to walk my buttocks forward so my buttocks is against the wall. Here I straighten my knees, my feet slide up away from my hips, and I draw the head blanket in to touch my shoulders. My arms are bent out to the side. Quietly close. Time to release and give over. Just noticing the effect that this asana has on the quality of the breath. See if you're gripping or holding. If there's any tension in either the body or the mind. See if you can use the breath into this space to release and let go of that tension. Give over completely. Mind might get distracted by sounds in the outside world. And just see if you can bring your attention a little bit more inward. Sense of drawing the eyes back into the skull, allowing them to soften and to quieten. Last few moments here. Preparing to come out of the pose now. So blink your eyes slowly open. Throw your head pillow back more into the middle of the room. Bend your knees and slide your body, wiggle your body back towards your head pillow. Replace your head pillow so it's comfy underneath the head and cross your legs onto your support. Bring your palms either side of the body. Relax and give over here. Sense of spreading, of opening. Change the cross of the legs. Roll over to your right side. Push yourself up and lie out for Savasana. You can use your head pillow for support. Extend into the right leg and release. Extend into the left, release. Palms facing the ceiling. Give over completely now. Toes soft. Last few moments here. Bend up your knees, roll your body to your right side, resting your head onto your arm as a pillow. Slowly blink the eyes open, looking out from a quiet, calm and still mind. Savor this moment of your practice. Use your hands into the mat, push yourself up to sitting and come to sit comfortably, whether that's on height or straight onto the mat, cross-legged. Bring the hands in front of the chest. Draw the eyes down. We give thanks for this gift of yoga, and we ask for grace, guidance and courage along our yogic path. Namaste. Thank you for your good work, everyone, and for joining me again. Take care.